Me, I'm Jonathan Cutting.
Hello.
Improved mental health professional. Yeah.
Good morning,
Hello.
Mr. Green. It's Dr. Pereira.
Hello.
I've been here before. We've spoken.
And I'm Dr. Singh.
Yes, I
Is it
reckon.
okay if we come in and
No.
talk to you to explain the reason that we're here?
You can explain from there.
Yeah. Okay. We're here to
In fact,
undertake.
I'm going to sit down because I have diarrhea and sleep deprivation. So
Oh, okay.
you're not welcome.
It'd be best if we come in just to make it sort of private, so that people can't hear what we're saying.
No, I'm quite
I
happy.
want neighbours to hear.
Who else have you got with you?
And we've got the
Hello.
police
Hello, Mr.
here.
Green, PC Brampton, Camberley Police Station.
Hello.
This is
Hello.
PC Wootton.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi.
Yeah. We've come to do an assessment of your
Why?
mental health.
Why?
Because I think from the last time that Dr. Pereira saw you in November, and previous times that I've seen you, and the notices that you've got on the door, and some contact you've had with other people,
No, I
there's
haven't.
concerns that you're currently not well. So we wanted to talk to you about that and to do an assessment under the Mental Health Act.
Right, I'm not mentally ill, so
No.
you
Well,
can.
I know, yeah. But we need
Are you
talk
going to
about-
let me talk, or are you going to talk over me?
Well, you wanted to know why we're here, Mr. Green. When I came in November with my colleague, we spoke to you about our concerns, and you maintained that there was nothing wrong with you.
That's correct.
Right, and I said at that point we were going to, we were going to speak to the GP. We were going to, just see what happens next. And since then, we've had contact from the police. We know there have been concerns from your ex-wife.
Who's contacted you from the police?
I'm just telling you what has happened. We know there have been concerns from your ex-wife. We know you've gone into the police station for questioning. And at that point, they had to stop the questioning because they were concerned for your mental health.
Are you going to let me speak? No.
prefer it if we could come in.
Yeah.
Because
You're not letting me speak. Are you going to let me speak and answer what you just said?
Okay, what have you got to say to that? I mean, the door is open. It's a public can hear us if anyone is...
Yeah, but the public can hear you out there or in here. I have no privacy from what you're doing. If you let me answer what you've just said. I went to speak to the police because the police called me. An officer gave me his name. It turns out it wasn't his name. Okay. I got there. A solicitor was called on my behalf,
Yes.
to which the solicitor was given some information. The solicitor then went and spoke to the officer concerned. The solicitor supposedly was going to meet me at Guildford Police Station. He did a runner, basically. I was not asked any questions. I was not inside Camberley Police Station. I was in the council offices. I was arrested. I wasn't questioned by the police. I was released without charge.
We are aware of that.
So how would you have been aware of that?
We are aware of that because they were very concerned for your mental health, and that's why everything was left without further charge.
That cannot be true because... No, I'm not arguing. I'm trying to make a point that I want you to listen to.
Mr. Green, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt because, every time we've come to see you, you've actually had the same thing to say to us, that they're not mentally ill.
You're not giving me a chance to speak.
You've said you're not mentally ill, and that the mental health services and the police are in a conspiracy against you.
Have I said that today?
But you've said that every previous time.
it's written on your.
It's written on your door. You're filming us as we speak.
Can you see the patent numbers on that door?
Yeah.
You can see them. So I'm saying to you, you've read the whole of that notice.
Yes, we are.
And you've read the patent numbers.
Yes.
So you're fully aware of you're cleared for the classified information. I want that answered, please. It said nicely. You're cleared for the classified information, not from the Psych Bible 4, which I understand is what you people go from. You're cleared for the classified information. If you're not cleared for the classified information...
Mr. Green, what's the classified information about?
Look, just let me... if you just bear with me a second. I have diarrhea at the moment, and I'm sleep deprived. The classified information is something that I'm not aware of because I haven't been shown it, but for you to make a diagnosis as to my mental health, you have to be cleared for the classified information. It's not part of your Psych Bible, so you're not cleared to make a please let me finish. You're not cleared to make a medical judgment on somebody when you're not cleared for the classifieds. The things that I'm likely to say to you are part of the classified information.
And who would be clearing us for accessing the classified information?
From what I understand, excuse me, from what I understand of it, there are very few people in this country in the medical profession that are cleared for the classifieds.
How does one get that clearance?
I have no idea. You, the medical profession, would be aware of that through the police, I would imagine.
You just suggested that what you were telling us today was part of the classified information. So I'm wondering how that was getting into the classified information.
It's via my research and my notes and my diary. I'm aware of things that are going on. Just because I'm saying this to you, I'm not mentally ill. But you, to be able to make a medical diagnosis of somebody, have to be classified cleared. You're not classified cleared. You're not declaring to me you're classified cleared.
Sorry, just under the Mental Health Act, then the doctors are approved to do an assessment.
But then, hold on a minute. I understand what you're trying to say, but you're not declaring to me whether you're cleared for the classified information or not. It's not part of your psych Bible to be
I'm
to
sorry,
have
Mr.
it.
Green, you're not making sense at all. First of all, there's nothing like a psych Bible.
Can you call us to the police, please?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Green.
Can I just make you aware of something for a second? I've contacted NHS England, and you need to let me speak, officer. And I respect your position.
I'm listening, Mr. Green.
All right. I've contacted NHS England. I've withdrawn my consent from the NHS to treat me. Under the terms of the NHS, it's deemed as assault. Under the NHS England guidelines, that if the NHS try and treat me when there's nothing wrong with me, and I've withdrawn my consent.
Okay.
They're not cleared to treat me.
Okay, Mr. Green. If you just do me the same favour and listen to me, okay. The courts have issued a warrant under Section 135 of the Mental Health Act. Okay, and this was issued on the 5th of January 2018. And Jonathan was the applicant to the court.
Who's Jonathan?
Jonathan Cutting. This is Jonathan. Okay, and the court have issued a warrant under Section 135, whereby it states in there that authority is given for us to enter the premises. So I'll read it out to you because you'll be able to see a copy. Authority is hereby given under the provision of Section 135, subsection 1 of the Mental Health Act 1983, for any constable, i.e. the police, accompanied by an improved mental health professional, which is these three, the two doctors and Jonathan.
I'm going to point something out to you in a minute, officer.
Okay.
I'm listening to you at this moment in time.
And by a registered medical practitioner to enter the said premises on one occasion only within 3 calendar months of the date of the issue of this warrant, if need to be by force, if thought fit, to remove the section named to a place of safety as defined by Section 135 subsection 6 of the said Act, and with a view of making an application in respect of that person under Part 2 of the Act.
Why would I need a place of safety order?
Place of safety is the Abraham County unit where the assessment can take place.
That's not a place of safety for me, unfortunately.
So, appreciate that. Just to explain then, so what we can do is we can just come in and talk to you because we can legally come in and talk to you.
But are you cleared for the classified, Jonathan?
I don't know what that means, really.
But, well,
I'm an approved mental health professional.
I understand that. But you have to be cleared for the classified information for me to be able to hold a conversation with you, then to have a medical opinion about what I'm saying to you. If you're not cleared for the classified information, you're not then able to have a medical opinion about something because you're not aware of what's actually going on.
Okay.
Given the two options are basically we just come in and have a chat with you to do the assessment here, or we could take you to the Abraham County unit to do the assessment. They're the two options.
You can come in here, but I'm saying you're doing this unlawfully. And if it's under 135, or is it all under 136, officer?
135.
We can gain access to the 135.
Right.
We can do an assessment.
Okay.
So should we do that?
No,
So we can just clarify?
wait a minute, please. Thank you very much. I want to make you aware of something. Firstly, I've withdrawn my consent from the NHS.
Yes.
It's an unlawful act that you're trying to do. Okay?
Yeah.
Secondly, I'm going to finish what I'm going to say. because I've got lots to say. Secondly, I was threatened with being injected inside the Abraham Cowley unit last time I was there, because by Dr. Lawrence, who said if I didn't comply to taking the medication that was given to me, I would be forcibly injected. Now, I was complying with taking the medication. I stated it's against my wishes without my consent, detrimental to my health, totally unneeded because I wasn't mentally ill then and I'm not mentally ill now.
I understand that you think that.
Right, but you need to be cleared for the classified information. For you to try even put a warrant through, you have to go to the High Court because I've withdrawn my consent. I'm not a danger to the public.
No, I'm not a danger. John, Mr. Green, but at this moment that warrant has been issued by the courts, okay, and we have got power to make entry. As Jonathan has explained to you, this is the point now where you can either invite Jonathan and the doctors in to do the assessment here, or we will invoke the power under the warrant and we will enter, and then you will have to go to the Abraham Cowley unit for the assessment.
I'm going to let you in, but I'm going to presume straight away. I just want to point this out. You, sir, I believe, was at my previous sectioning that when you turned up at my doorstep at bequest of the police when there was nothing wrong with me. You were part of an unlawful act towards me previously because you were part of the jury that turned up, the three of you that turned up together. In that sectioning, one of the gentlemen concerned said that the police had said to them that I had interest in a 13-year-old person. That report was made because Mr. Paul Russell had said he had sexual contact with my daughter when she was 13 years of age. I explained to you at the time and the other two members of the panel that suddenly turned up unexpectedly and unwarranted that that was a misrecording by the police and or an involvement with a conspiracy with Mr. Russell. Are you from Surrey Police, sir?
I am indeed.
Okay, well that's a bit tricky.
Can you just come in?
You're welcome in a minute. I just want to speak to this gentleman for a second. Members of Surrey Police, unfortunately, are involved in a conspiracy against me, including Mr. Paul Russell, who's not a member of Surrey Police that I'm aware of.
Okay, Mr. Green,
Okay.
You're perfectly entitled to your opinions. Okay, as I say, at this time the warrant's been issued.
Are you a Freemason, sir?
No, I'm not.
You're not a Freemason?
No, I'm not.
Are any of you
100%
Freemasons?
not. Okay.
Gentlemen, are you a Freemason, sir, or into Masonry or in a Masonic lodge? Because you hesitated, I'm now
I tell
concerned.
you that I don't think that's relevant to what we're doing here.
It's very relevant because it's going to be part of the long-term case.
In what way?
Okay.
In what,
David, we need to come in then.
Just one second, I need the toilet. I'm going to leave the door open. I'm going to use the bathroom. I don't wish to
Okay,
have to use
Mr. Green,
the
there's
bathroom.
two options now. You either let us into the premises, or I'm going to invoke the power under the warrant. Would you rather? You can go to the bathroom while everyone's
being
here.
aggressive
That's not a problem. Okay, but we can't stand here all day having this discussion with you on the doorstep. The doctors are here to speak to you. They're happy to speak to you within your premises without the warrant being invoked. Okay, but at the moment, all we've done is stall on the doorstep for about 15 minutes. So
It's not a case of stalling you, officer.
we need to either go in so you can have the assessment done by the doctors.
Okay, I'm telling you I need the bathroom.
Okay, we'll go to the bathroom
okay.
and we'll follow you up. That's not an issue. We're not going to come to the bathroom with you. That is absolutely fine, Mr. Green. Okay, but if we're not coming in, okay, then we're going to use the power of the warrant to do so.
But you're going to end up sectioning me anyway, which is an unlawful act. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
It's not my decision whether you're sectioned or not, Mr. Green. I'm not the mental health practitioner here. Okay, I'm a police officer. Okay, I'm here to enforce the power of the warrant. Okay.
I understand who you are.
Okay.
There should be three of you, and the lady as well, excuse me.
Yeah.
Get you on film as well.
Okay.
Just bear with me, stay there please 1 minute. You can see I'll have the bathroom door, well it'll be closed. You can see
Mr. Green,
I want to use the bathroom.
You can use the bathroom, Mr. Green. Okay, no one's interested in you going to the bathroom. Feel free, but if you could invite everyone in so we don't have to stand on the doorstep any longer,
Okay,
that would make things a lot easier.
Let me point this out, okay? You're very welcome, but you, as a group of people under Surrey Police, are involved in the conspiracy.
Okay.
Okay? I want you to make that quite
that's
clear.
your opinion, Mr. Green. That's your opinion.
I know it for a fact, not an opinion.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll come in there then, yeah.
Basically, under duress, you're not welcome, you're not needed, and it's unlawful because you're not cleared for the classified information.
Okay, Mr. Green.
can I ask you all to go through into
Yes,
there?
certainly, Mr. Green. Do you want to pop through?
Then I can use the bathroom.
It's a little bit tight with all my equipment on to come
That's
through.
right. I don't have anywhere for you to still sit, so you need to
Okay.
stand through there while I go to the bathroom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just need to ask him something.
I need to use the bathroom
Oh, so
before you
that's
do
not-
anything
Please do
else.
so. Please do so.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Right. Now, right, I'm sitting on the toilet talking to myself via the camcorder right this second. These people have turned up out of the blue. They're not needed, they're not warranted, and they're not welcome. It's detrimental to actually my health. I'm now sitting on the toilet. It's detrimental to my health, to the fact that they've actually turned up. There's no logical reason why they would turn up. I'm not trouble to anybody else. I'm not trouble to myself. I'm not mentally ill. I'm exasperated. This is a deliberate act by these people that are involved in the conspiracy. These medical professionals that have turned up are not classified cleared. So, I have an irregular heartbeat caused by these people. Not these people that have turned up, but the people that are targeting me. I never had a irregular heartbeat before. To say I'm not frustration is not the right word. I think that these people need to understand this is not just about me, it's about lots of other people as well. And I'm sleep deprived. I've got diarrhea, which previously lasted 3 weeks. This bout of diarrhea is just over a week. And there's nothing wrong with my health whatsoever. In terms of mental health, physically I haven't been allowed to previously have x-rays. I'm struggling to use the bathroom at this second, it's a bit difficult. And knowing they're going to try and section me and or go through my papers in my lounge area, bedroom area, that are private to me and are basically part of the ongoing case. So when I go back into that room, I'm going to have to check that the 2 letters that Mr. Russell left me in a derogatory manner targeting me supposedly as somebody who's mentally ill and not missing suddenly. I'm sure they'll still be there because obviously they can hear me through the door. I'm still trying to use the bathroom, by the way. One of the gentlemen that's turned up was previously involved in the unlawful section of me before. And it looks as though at this stage they're going to try and do it again. But obviously I'll end up getting a solicitor that won't be clear for the classifieds. And if they section me, I'll end up spending 25 days or so, or they might even try and section me for 6 months, which is ludicrous. Even 1 day was too long. I'm just about finished using the bathroom. I'm going to wash my hands and then I'll stop talking, and I'm going to explain to these people I have an irregular heartbeat caused by the technology, which has never been diagnosed by the NHS before, including inside the ACU. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Sorry, roll with it.
Excuse me.
Just before we talk a bit further,
Yeah.
just something in my role that I need to check with you, which is because this is an assessment under the Mental Health Act. One of my duties would be to consult with your nearest relative
Right.
And according to the information I have, your eldest child would be your nearest relative. And
I don't know necessarily. I want him actually disturbed from the point of view of
who is your eldest child?
Ben.
Oh, because I thought maybe you had another older daughter.
Oh, Rebecca. No, I wouldn't want her disturbed either.
But is she your eldest child?
Yeah, she's taken the name of somebody else, which I'm glad to say.
Okay, what's her name?
Well, what's that got to do with you?
Well, as I say, that's just part of my responsibilities. It's sort of a safeguard within the Mental Health Act to consult with your nearest relative.
Right.
If possible.
Well, I'm not in contact with them, so I don't know how you're going to manage that.
So do you have any contact details for her?
Not really, no.
No, okay.
I mean,
What's her surname?
well, she's just got married, I think.
What's her first name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca, and do you know her surname?
Yes. Well, I know the Christian name that she was born with, and the name of the person that she supposedly took the name of to honour her father.
What's that?
Okay, well, her name that she was born with was Maynard, and then she took the name of Tredenick in honour of her father, her stepfather. Tredenick. And it's interesting, you're writing out forms. Does that mean you've already tried to section me? As the Johnson's asking me questions and you're busy writing out forms rather than paying attention as to my demeanour.
Can I just finish about your daughter, just and then we'll talk to the doctor?
Yeah.
So Rebecca Tredenick is her current name?
No.
No?
No, she's got married, I believe, since.
Okay. Do you know her married name?
No, I think she might have got married to a lady, or I'm not sure how she would describe herself currently as a person, but her name's Rebecca.
Okay.
I think she's got married, and I think she has children now, but I don't know as to where exactly she's living.
Don't really know her surname at the moment.
Her married name, I think it's on, might be on Facebook somewhere, but I haven't really studied it, to be honest.
Okay, not to worry.
Just because it's not my business. She doesn't want to be for me to be in contact, so I wouldn't then go contacting her.
When were you last in contact with her?
Rebecca,
Yeah.
gosh, years ago.
And
Years
Ben
and years
is
ago.
your oldest son,
That's correct.
but you're not in contact with him?
No, I'm not in contact because they don't want me to be in contact.
That's fine. So just in terms of the assessment, the doctor's view is that you do need to be in hospital.
Right, well that's
I mean,
obviously
they can explain to
unlawful.
you to maybe.
Because
Any other questions?
they're already... Hold on a minute, this is not a steamroller.
No.
But that's what you're acting like, politely.
Well, no, you were asking about the doctor's...
No, you're just saying that it's the doctor's opinions already that I'm sectionable. Why is that exactly?
Oh, they can explain to you.
No, hold on a minute. You've just said out loud that the doctor's opinion already,
Yeah, because they told me when you're in the toilet.
and what justification have they got of that?
Well-
Where they qualified the classified?
Mr. Green.
You haven't asked me anything about the
Miss-
classified information.
Mr. Green,
Uh-huh.
you've told us repeatedly about the classified information.
No, I haven't told you.
You told me
No, it's a
on
lie.
the 16th of November everything about the classified information. You've written it on the piece of paper on your front door. You've said that to Jonathan and Amanda when they visited you 2 weeks prior to that. So this is consistent over the last several months. Okay? You are suffering with a delusional disorder. At this moment, you're refusing to take any medication.
No, hold on. No,
Okay,
that's a
let me
lie
finish.
as well.
Mr. Green, please
Has
let me
my
finish.
doctor prescribed any medication for me? No, none at all. So why are you telling me that I've
Mr. Green, when you
refused
came out of
medication?
hospital, when you
Can you
came out
answer
of-
the question,
When you
please?
came out of the Abraham Cowley unit, you then stopped taking medication.
Can you
Then
answer the question,
as soon as
please?
you were discharged from the home treatment.
Can you answer the question, please?
You have said to us that you believe that your doctor,
Doctor,
and us
you
and
can't...
the police.
Doctor, I trust your medical background. You're not cleared for the classifieds. Can you answer my question, please?
Can I just ask you, what are you saying about medication? Are you saying you would take medication?
Can I answer the question? The original question was regards to my doctor. Dr. Fisher is my doctor. Where is Dr. Fisher today?
Dr. Fisher isn't here. Dr. Fisher
Right.
doesn't need to be here.
How many times have I seen Dr. Fisher? Not once has she ever said to me that you need to take psychiatric medication.
We have said to you that you need to take psychiatric
Right.
medication.
And what is your current prognosis of me? I
Mr.
want
Green.
you to say to camera,
Mr. Green,
I want you to say to camera politely, what is your current prognosis of me as I'm sitting here asking
Okay.
you about the classified information?
I actually believe that you're seriously mentally ill, and without treatment, it is only going to get worse. It's going to impact on your daily functioning in your life. I'm aware that your ex-wife and your younger children are actually concerned for your welfare. So much so that they did go to the police, because you have been telling them that you believe their chips put in their heads as well, and
No,
that they
that's
are
a
at
lie.
risk of losing their home.
That's a lie. I have not told them the chips are inside their heads.
The unusual beliefs you have
No.
been actually getting
Let me be
more
polite.
extensive.
I'm being polite. I'm answering what you've just said. I've not spoken to my children. I've not told them they have chips in their heads. That's a lie.
You've written to them, I think.
Sorry?
You wrote to them, didn't you?
No, I haven't written to my children.
Well, you've
That's a
written to your
lie.
ex-wife. You've written to your ex-wife several letters.
And excuse me, I came to the Surrey County. Sorry, just hitting the peppermint the wrong way. I came to the county offices, spoke to the police freely of my own free will
Yeah.
to answer any questions
Yes.
about unsolicited contact with my ex-wife. I was never given an opportunity to answer those questions to do so. I was not given the opportunity to do so.
Okay.
So why are you trying to railroad me now by not answering what I'm asking you? You've just stated that I wrote to my children, which I did not do so.
You wrote to your ex-wife then.
But you need to get the facts straight. If you're going to try and section somebody
Okay.
who's not mentally ill,
We're not sectioning you because you wrote to your ex-wife, okay? We're sectioning you for the fact that you've been unwell. You refuse to accept
no,
that
what's
you're
your
unwell.
diagnosis, doctor?
You've been diagnosed with a delusional disorder.
No, the exact delusional disorder, please.
It is a delusional disorder
Right, and why is it a delusion?
because you've held some beliefs very firmly that actually have no bearing in reality. You think they do. In fact, you are very convinced that they do. But they have no bearing in reality. You believe there's a chip implanted in your body somewhere.
When you go shopping, doctor, and you need a new kettle, and you buy it from whatever store you go to, that device has what's called a patent-approved patent number.
Yes. And so?
Okay, so if I show you patent-approved patent numbers for products that are capable of doing the technology that I'm describing or haven't had the chance to describe, does that make me a liar? Does that make me delusional?
It still does not explain your functioning in the last 12 months.
It doesn't explain why you're not answering the question.
Mr. Green, that products have patent numbers and that you can show us their patent numbers actually
Right.
adds very little.
So the NHS
we're
then,
talking
if
about.
I show you the patent number for the inner tooth design that the NHS are using potentially inside human beings to do the technology, or the police inner ear cochlear device, which does the same technology, you're going to tell me that I'm lying.
Not necessarily. It depends on what those devices are used for and what they're meant for.
Right, I'm going to
Okay.
reach into my pocket, I'm going to show you a piece of paper
Okay.
that has the patent numbers for the inner tooth design.
Mr. Green, can you tell me about your functioning? Can you tell me about how you've been living in the last... What was Christmas like for you?
Quiet.
How much contact did you have with family and friends?
No contact with any family because they don't want me to be in contact. I was respecting their wishes.
Okay, can I ask you why is it that family do not want contact with you any longer?
I don't know. You need to ask them. The police will be asking me questions about it at some point. So I'll be happy to answer the police because they're in
Mr.
charge.
Green, I need to put it to you that the reason family are reluctant to have contact with you is they're very concerned for your mental health.
Right?
And
Can
they
you?
want you to be treated.
I
Right.
think when you went to the police station, the police were concerned about your mental
If
health.
the police, Jonathan, if my family were concerned with my mental health, why wouldn't they contact me to say, "Are you okay, Dad or Dave or whoever they may be?" Look, you people are obviously on an agenda. You're writing out things to save yourself time. You're obviously on a timescale. You're not listening to someone
No.
who's obviously not mentally ill.
No.
You're trying to steamroller me into your opinions.
we have to
And I'm
disagree.
afraid you don't count at all because you have ummed and ahmed about being into a Masonic lodge and or a Freemason. So unfortunately, you've got to disbar yourself, and if anybody else is a Freemason here, you'll have to disbar yourself as well.
I'm sorry, Mr. Green. That is all very irrelevant.
It's not. It's
Because
not irrelevant
we
at
are
all.
both approved under the Mental Health Act.
No, it's
as
nothing to do with
psychiatrists.
the. It's nothing to do with the Mental Health Act. It's to do with the case.
Just a neighbour and colleague.
Yeah, just one color.
Quite frankly, you're not listening to what I'm saying. This is a deliberate, malicious act by all of you. I'm going to show you.
I'm satisfied with what I have seen and heard.
I'm going to show you the patent
I'm
numbers.
concerned for your mental health.
There's nothing wrong with
So
the mental health.
I'm concerned that you're not willing to work with the mental health.
No,
team.
I didn't say that at all.
So I am recommending
My
that it's in your best interest to be in a
letters are
hospital
there.
at this moment.
Sorry?
Right?
My letters.
Mr. Green?
And you're not
Both of them.
consenting to that either.
Thank you. And my notes in my diary and all my other notes in diary, but I don't want to remove from here because this is not lawful.
Okay.
But I'm about to show the officer this because the officer needs to see this. And I'm about to show you my letter to the NHS I pre-prepared in case you suddenly turned up out of the blue as well. Officer, this is not personal, alright? Okay, please understand that. Okay, officer. I'd like it back if you're not going to keep it.
Okay, Mr. Green.
But if you want to keep it, I have a copy. There is my email that was sent to NHS England. If you'd like to show your other officer, thank you. The van's already here, so that's interesting, isn't it? Let's have this one as well. What is that?
Oh yeah, something that we do. So
Thank you for sharing that with us, Mr. Green. You okay with mine?
You don't want a copy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's the transporting case.
In case you've already set it up.
Well, that's something we do.
Jonathan, that's
We
what
do
you
with
mean.
people that we do arrange transport in advance in case it's needed. Because otherwise it's
In other words, Jonathan, you're not cleared for the classified information, are you? So you're doing an unlawful act as we speak. And should I start saying things that the police don't like, they will deem it to be that I'm being rude and things when you're not giving me a chance to actually speak. And your policy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Green. Thank you for your time. Right.
Dr. Singh needs to go now. So he's going.
Dr. Singh, I'll see you in the
think-
High Court, sir.
Mr. Green, there you go.
Thank you very much.
I've read it and I've recorded it on my body worn
Thank you very
video.
much.
So
Okay,
Could I have a quick
noted
look?
that you passed that.
that's the police one.
Sorry, what's this?
That's a letter, just in case I got stopped.
Mr. Green, can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
What's with all the foil?
Are you going to let me actually answer the question?
Please do. I'm very curious.
Okay. You're not clear for the classified information, so even if the information I'm going to give you, you're not going to be able to understand what I'm going to say to you, being politely, but I'm going to say it to you anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do excuse me, I've got an irregular heartbeat, so I want you to be aware of that. Hence why my heart's now going 10 to the dozen. This stuff, okay, the mirror, if there's a mirror underneath here,
Oh, sorry.
underneath here.
Okay.
If a type of radio frequency is being used against me externally, the miler sheets have a slight metal content in them that will help try and reflect some of the radio frequency being used against me to keep it away from my body. Hence why the sheets are up against the wall, and hence why I have some spares down there.
Right.
You'll also notice there is a cap.
Yeah, I see in the caps over there.
Now, that's interesting that you said it was a cap because
It looks
most
like a helmet.
that's correct. Most people think it's a helmet. Now, underneath there is a cap that has sheets of metal put over the top of it. The only way to block the technology that's being used against me is the mixture of copper, lead, and steel.
Right. Can I ask you one
Yeah.
other question?
Yeah.
Why are these people, who they are, why are they doing all this? Why are they...
Just be careful not to lean on that too heavily.
Okay,
Just so
fine.
you're aware.
Yeah. So why are they doing this to you? Why you?
It's part of a paid agenda. Thank you. By people to do this. It's part of gang stalking culture in this country.
But why have they picked on you?
I have no idea. You need to ask various people in my ex-wife's family because they're supposedly involved in it.
Okay, so they're involved too.
No, I didn't say that. I said they're supposedly involved in it.
Okay.
But Mr. Russell,
Yeah, that was your ex-neighbour.
oh, he's gone, is he?
You told me he was gone on the 16th
Well,
of November.
this is the thing. My ex-neighbour is one of the people, not just the main person. He's one of the people. Sorry, obviously, to film you, but I need to do this because obviously.
Mr. Green, I've no problems with you filming. Are you able to turn the front light off? Do you need the light on?
It comes on automatically, unfortunately.
Right, okay.
I can't do anything about that. He's one of the people involved in what's going on. He's not the only person that's involved in what's going on. So if you're saying I'm mentally ill, and Dr. Nagaria previously sectioned me because he said, to quote him, "Why would your neighbour attack the door? He has no reason to do so." Now, I have footage of that neighbour attacking my door. That was the reason that I was sectioned the last time inside the ACU, because Dr. Nagari, who was called out by the police on the police's bequest, stated that I must have been imagining in the fact that the neighbour would attack the door. Would you like to hear and see 26 minutes of Mr. Russell attacking the door? And so obviously not a delusion, obviously not mentally ill, obviously part of gang stalking.
Okay, I don't need to see that.
Then-
It's not relevant to today.
No, it is very relevant today, madam, because Dr. Nagaria sectioned me because he spoke to me directly and said, "Why would your neighbour attack the door?"
Can I just say something? You might not remember this, okay? But
You're not answering the question.
no. Can I just slightly aside from this, Mr. Green? You might not remember this, but going back 2007, 2008, you used to come and see me in the outpatients, and there was none of this. You had a bit of anxiety.
There's a reason for that. If you're going to let me finish, I'll let you finish in a second.
You were much better functioning. You actually had a routine for yourself. You were living.
I have a routine for myself
You
now.
did? Well, I think your whole routine is this preoccupation with this conspiracy.
Not at all.
And,
Not at all.
And I think
That's a
your whole,
lie.
it's almost like you're in a prison.
That's a lie.
Well,
Let me. What you've just said is back in 2007, and I want you to go back to Dr. Nagari for a minute.
Dr. Nagara was 2015.
Yeah,
16, yeah?
I'm aware of when it was, because it was basically 2017
that you ended up in hospital.
because of Dr. Nagari's misdiagnosis,
Okay,
unlawful misdiagnosis. I want to state it again because I'm recording this.
Okay.
Dr. Nagaria sectioned me because he said in his own words, "Why would your neighbour want to attack the door?" He spent 25 minutes attacking the door. So that was a misdiagnosis and unlawfully done. Now, the reason that the Dr. Nagaria came out is because the police called him out. I was the victim, yet the police called the medical services out to me, yet didn't even bother taking a report from me as to the circumstances of 25 minutes worth. So you're now saying that back in 2007, to answer your question, that I didn't say much of this sort of stuff and didn't mention about the classified information and everything else. You're quite right. I didn't, because I hadn't done my research, because I know what I'm talking about. You unfortunately, Doctor, don't know what you're talking about. It's a misdiagnosis by you.
Mr. Green, I put it to you that you've significantly become more unwell as the years have gone.
And I'm laughing at you, Doctor,
Okay.
because you're doing another unlawful,
Okay.
immoral, detrimental to my health sectioning that there is no justification for, because you're not cleared for the classified information.
It's unfortunate that that's what you believe. We're only here to get you into hospital for treatment in the hope that you can actually recover and have a better quality of life, rather than living within tinfoil and being so
Excuse
fearful of
me,
the outside
excuse
world.
me. I go out every single day to go shopping. You go and look in my fridge and my freezer, they're absolutely full of product. Now, part of mental illness is that you don't look after yourself, you don't wash, you don't, general health, you don't look after yourself. I'm perfectly sane. I'd like you to go and look at my fridge and my freezer and my food area.
I believe
Go
you.
and tell me.
I believe you. If you tell me you go out and buy
Then,
food, I
then
believe
you're
you.
telling me that I'm mentally ill when I'm not.
There are different types of mental illness, and with a delusional disorder, it is able to keep basic functioning going, such as going and getting your shopping and eating your food, but to be totally preoccupied with this very strong, ever-growing belief.
That's your opinion, Doctor, that I'm totally occupied and preoccupied. I'm not preoccupied at all. When you suddenly turn up out of the blue, how come you're here? Explain to me for a minute. You claiming that my family contacted you.
No, I didn't say your
Yes,
family
you did.
contacted me.
You claimed that my son or daughters contacted you, and or ex-members of my family. You claimed that they contacted you because I'd supposedly written to them and said that there was chips in their heads when I've never said there's chips in their heads.
I can explain why we're here. When you went down to the police station, the Criminal Justice Liaison Service are involved, and the police that you saw were concerned about your mental state and didn't feel that they could continue with interviewing you.
They never mentioned my mental state. They arrested me on the basis they
were concerned when you
No, let me finish, Jonathan.
That's right, isn't it?
You need to get your information correct.
Jonathan's information is correct.
No, Jonathan's information is not correct. Jonathan's information is wrong. I was arrested for unsolicited contact with my ex-wife. Nothing to do with mental health under the 136.
That's not what Jonathan
No, I'm
is
saying
saying.
that when they did bring you into the station, they were then concerned about your mental health, and they're now taking no further
Hold on a
action.
minute, Jonathan. Jonathan, if you're going to quote them, let's get it right.
I'm not quoting them, I'm just...
You just said they were concerned for my mental health when they arrived at the station.
Yeah, when they were talking to you at the station.
Right, let me explain something to you. If they were concerned with my mental health, why did the sergeant say, I'm not happy at detaining you? I was arrested.
For the very same reason.
No, that's a lie. Don't laugh at me, please.
No, it is for the very
I'm
same
saying
reason.
to you, I'm saying to you quite clearly, if you're going to get the information correct, I'm happy to agree with you. But if you're going to say things that are not correct, I'm going to say to you, you're not correct.
When
I was
first-
arrested. Were you there when I was arrested?
No, but we have
I
had
was.
information since then,
No.
and their explanations. But they were very concerned for your mental health, so they decided not to pursue the criminal investigation and wanted us, the
That's a
mental health
lie.
services. Well,
That's a lie.
That's what the officer that dealt with you at the time has submitted, presumably on a report, and has explained their reasons for that, and that's been shared with the National Health Service, Mr. Green.
Right,
I think that's
let
what
me
the
see that
doctor's trying to-
report to that case.
I don't have access
we
to
don't
that
have,
report,
and, you know,
Mr. Green.
yeah, we
Well,
don't.
I'm not going to be quoted upon something that you
Okay.
can't back up
Well,
with a report.
We're not quoting, we're telling you and giving you a brief outline of what's been told. No one's quoting past
And
that word for word.
I'm saying to you that I was arrested for unsolicited contact with my ex-wife at the Camberley council offices. No mention was mentioned of my mental health. No mention was mentioned of my mental health when I went to the custody suite at Guildford. The custody sergeant said, quote unquote, you shouldn't be here. I'm not comfortable with you being here. And I was mentioned to me about 136 that you have to section somebody out and about, not inside a police station. Previously, I was sectioned inside the police station and taken down to the ACU unlawfully, because you have to do it on public ground.
Okay,
Yeah, and the
Jonathan,
police are not taking any further action over that because they're concerned about your mental health.
Sorry, let me. So we understand each other. What exactly are you claiming the police are not taking any further action over?
Over their
The
plan to-
contact with your family, Mr. Green.
Unsolicited contact.
Unsolicited contact.
In other words, the 10-page letter that I sent to Rachel's solicitor in answer to her solicitor's letter that was sent to me has proved the fact of my case regarding the sale of the house, is what you mean.
Okay, that's your belief, Mr. Green. I'm not here to argue with
Okay.
you.
So just to explain, then we've got as the approved mental health question, I've got 2 medical recommendations from Dr. Pereira and Dr. Singh.
But Dr. Singh didn't actually state whether he was a freemason or he coughed and spluttered and
No,
basically
he's an approved
that's not the
psychiatrist
point.
under the Mental Health.
That is the point. This is going to end up in the
I'm
High
operating
Court.
under the Mental Health
Okay.
Act. So basically, their recommendations are that you need to be admitted to hospital for a period of treatment under Section 3 of the Mental Health Act.
Now, Section 3 is for 6 months. Now, why on earth,
Be
when,
for up to 6 months.
why,
initially.
why,
Because we have a working diagnosis, so we cannot use a section 2.
So it's not thought that any further assessment is needed,
You're-
but that you
yeah.
need some
You
treatment.
need treatment, and that's why we're getting you into hospital, because you do need the treatment, Mr. Green, because we need to get you better from where you are.
And as
you need-
the approved mental health professional, I'm satisfied that we need to make that application because there are no alternatives. We've tried to, I think you were engaged with the home treatment team, but then you stopped working with them, you've stopped medication since then. You've been clear when we visited you and when Dr. Pereira's visited you that you won't accept us, you won't allow us even into the flat or have any
I
sort of
didn't
further
have,
treatment.
let me make this clear to you. You're saying things that are not true that I haven't said, okay?
Well, I'm fairly
No,
sure that this
I'm
is the case.
explaining to you what the circumstances are so you understand this, okay? There isn't room for everybody to sit, obviously,
No.
okay? Now, I have no privacy. Previously, when I've spoken to Dr. Nagaria and Matthew Shallowborn, I've said to them I didn't want them in the flat for the simple reason that the downstairs people and the next door people can hear through the floors and through the walls because of the unsound constitution of how this flat is built. So consequently, I asked that we could go down to the local park so that I can have privacy in terms of being a distance away from here so that it couldn't be decreed that what was being spoken of was being heard through the floor and through the walls. So that's why I insisted that we went elsewhere. Now, you're here
I'm
under
very
false
clear.
pretences.
I'm very clear on all the information I've got, and I understand what you're saying.
You don't,
And I've
because you're
read
not
that.
clear for the classified
But
information.
we're gonna make an application for you to. Well, I've made an application for you to go into hospital.
You
under
need to go
Section
to the
3.
High Court, Jonathan.
We've been to the
You haven't been to
I've
the
been
High
to
Court.
Magistrates Court.
We've been to the magistrates.
That's not High Court. You can't force me to have treatment via the NHS.
Well,
I've
under the Mental Health
withdrawn.
Under the Mental Health Act.
I'm
Mr.
not.
Green,
I'm
under
not
the Mental Health
mentally.
Act, they can.
I'm
we're
not
gonna-
mentally ill, officer.
So we've got the transport, and so you need to get ready. And we need to take you there now to the Blake Ward, Abraham County.
I'm not mentally ill. Go to the High Court.
No, I understand that's what you're saying.
Where is my copy of the order that you've gone to the magistrates' court?
Yeah, we can leave.
to
We
read
need
this
to
one?
leave a copy of that actually.
I'd like to see it, please, and read
You
it.
can certainly
Yeah.
see it.
It's the
Well,
one
is
I
it
read
actually-
out.
It's the
the
one
one I
that
read out
was
to
That's
you.
what I understand, but I'd like to see
Actually, I've
who
got a
signed
copy
it.
for you. There you go. Because we need to leave one with you. If you could just date and sign that, we can leave a copy with.
So where does it say Aldershot on here? It doesn't.
No, the Magistrates Court is.
It's not dated and signed at the back.
It
Sign-
is-
signature of officer executing the
That's-
I
warrant.
can assure you it's a legal document.
Well, it's not signed, so it's
No,
not
Stuart's
legal.
got a
Just going
copy
to
here
be
that he's
signed.
signing for you to keep.
It's just being signed.
We sign it once we've
No, the
executed
magistrate
warrant.
signs it electronically. So
Right, there is no Aldershot Magistrates Court
no, it's
on
not
this
Aldershot
document.
Magistrates
And
Court.
where
It
was
was,
So where did you apply to it
Abraham
then?
County
it was
Police
Ipswich
Court.
Magistrates Court.
Right, so why did you just say it was Aldershot Magistrates Court?
I didn't say that.
You did.
No, I said the magistrate.
You just said it was Aldershot Magistrates
I think you
Court.
did, Mr.
No, I
Green.
didn't say Aldershot. Basically, there's a new way of obtaining warrants, which doesn't involve going to the local.
It's done electronically.
So it's
This is,
sent electronically, so that's why there's no actual signature.
Where's
But
my
it-
phone?
But we do need now for you to get ready because this is going to happen.
Need to grab a phone for you.
I'll get my stuff together, officer.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
I'm not going to be railroaded. If I request a solicitor, how do we stand legally? Because the solicitor that was called off your list wasn't cleared for the classified information.
That was different though, wasn't it? That was when you were questioned about an offence, wasn't
No,
it?
I wasn't questioned about the offence. They never actually asked me any
But they
questions.
called a solicitor prior to
Prior to that.
Prior to the interview. That would have been for interview purposes.
And then they deemed that it wouldn't be correct to interview you, so that's why you didn't speak to the solicitor, Mr. Green.
Mr. Green, I'm going to take your leave. I'm sure I'll be in contact with the doctors at Abraham Cowley to see how you are doing.
So,
So
I'll take
I'm not sure if you have access.
Okay.
Is it Mr. Green able to make phone calls from the? I think board. Yeah, I think you can make.
Yeah, you need to discuss that with the ward staff.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's possible.
So if you want to make calls to
Doctor,
legal representation, that's
one
what
day
you
I'm
can
going
do.
to see you in the High Court, and you're going. I just want you to understand this. What you're doing is currently unlawful. Let me finish. I'm supposedly somebody who's mentally ill, that you're not going to steamroller. I'm not mentally ill. This is an unlawful act done in a conspiracy. I'm not saying you're involved in a conspiracy, but you're not cleared minimum for the classified information.
Okay, I
And
have
what
to disagree.
justification have you got?
I have to disagree, okay?
Why
I
are
have to
you...
disagree. I have made a recommendation that you need treatment in hospital and I'm sticking by that, okay?
And the other thing David, is you can appeal, as you know, to a
These-
tribunal.
These people
Independent
are
from-
going to section me for a minimum of 6 months.
No, that's
And-
not true.
It's not
I'll
6 months.
Yeah,
Up
I
to.
realise that, section
It's not a
3,
minimum.
thank you. If you give me a chance to speak, then I'll be able to say this to the camera. They are going to take me to the ACU at Chertsey. I have no transport, no finances available. Should I ever get released from there, I will be put to inconvenience to do so. I have no friends and family that I would contact due to respecting their wishes to stay out of their lives. The solicitors on the list will be not cleared for the classified information, so they're not able to make an opinion, nor are the doctors, because they're not cleared. I currently have diarrhea and sleep deprivation. I will be forced to take psychotic drugs when there's nothing wrong with me whatsoever. I have physical injuries also, of which I've been tortured previously in the past. 6 times I've had an electronic shock into my left neck muscle, and I have various other injuries also. I will not be allowed to have an x-ray of my full body while in the ACU. I was deprived of doing so previously. There are lots of things that I would like to say right at this second, but I think it's best that I don't do so. In regards to running around suddenly and getting things together, I will happily get together a toothbrush, and I don't have a bag, I don't think particularly. And of course, clothes and things like that, I'm not prepared to be suddenly jumped upon when there's no mental illness whatsoever. I'm not happy about this. I'd like a solicitor called. I'm being denied a solicitor, and the one that's going to be off the list won't know what I'm talking about in regards to the classified information. I'd also like to state that my demeanour when I was in the ACU last time was polite, friendly, no trouble to anybody, sat there, no difference in my demeanour towards anybody, whether I was mentally ill before, during or after I left, and being forced to take psychotic drugs when there's nothing wrong with somebody is a horrific experience, Jonathan. And I suggest next time you think about sectioning somebody that's not mentally ill, that you look to your own personality and as to who you are as a person, and understand that if somebody says you're not cleared for the classifieds, I know what I'm talking about. And I find it deeply offensive that what's this happening to me. I'm about to put this camcorder down, and I'm going to say this to you. My legs are shaking because I'm sleep deprived. I'm food deprived because of my diarrhea. The previous time that I was in the ACU, they only had 2 tablets. I soiled myself twice in the ACU because there was no medical facilities there for me. There was a knife brought into the ACU where there was an incident where police officers were called with batons, round shields, and I've forewarned the people there. I've previously been attacked inside the ACU by a patient, and I was also threatened inside NHS facilities by people who seemingly were undercover at the time, working for the police and or the Freemasons involved in the conspiracy. That information and footage I will require to see. I'm not angry, I'm shaking because I've been set up.
Can I just ask you, you say you're sleep deprived, how long have you not slept for?
No, it's not a case that I don't sleep.
You do sleep, but...
I'm about 7,000 to 10,000 hours sleep deprivation through the criminality using technology on me.
Over the years?
Over the years that's been done.
Okay. All right then, so I think we need to sort of, you need to get together and get your stuff together.
You were going to get